Do you see that? You see that little guy right there? I think that is a Bradford watermelon. It's the only one that came up. So excited about them. Anyway, let's start today's video. Today it's my birthday, da 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 da. Happy birthday to me. All right. I know I'm being a little crazy, but it's my birthday, and I love my birthday. Ask anybody. In fact, I had declared that June, the entire month, was Junibration to celebrate my birth month because I'm getting old. One day is just not enough anymore. My kids just roll their eyes at me, but I think I'm worth it. Anyway, so today for my big birthday, the kids made a cake, which was really nice. But fun little story. So I had to go out and check my hives again, and you remember that lovely little gift that I got 2 weeks ago. So this time, fully geared up, ready to go. Thought for sure I was good. I went to go check our one hive that we're doing as an experiment in a shed. And with the top bar, I have discovered, so here's a little tidbit for those with top bar beekeeping. Sheds are too hot to keep top bar. Because what happened is I went ahead and I opened up the hive and I started pulling out bars to check. And I pulled up, and I noticed some of the bars didn't really have anything on them, which I thought was kind of weird, but it's a new hive. It was just a split we made, so whatever. So I went to go pull up one of the bars. Next thing I know, boom, a whole bunch of, I guess, like comb, like lines of comb, fell down. So here's what happened. They had started building on the top bar. The comb had, I guess, melted from the weight and had fallen. So they had instead braced it up where it had fallen. And so the bees were still using this built up comb. I mean, it was probably like, this big by this big. Pretty good size. Just completely full of brood and bees and honey and everything else. Well, so the top bar's hanging here. This other one had fallen and was leaned against it and braced as best they could, and the whole contraption they had, because bees are amazing, was holding really well until I removed this bar. And when I did that, these all fell. And there was a cloud of bees that just exploded and came right for me. So I had my bee suit on, which is great. I only got 3 bee stings, where one went up under my jacket or whatever, however they find their way in. They seem like they do. But the big problem was they attacked my legs, which I did have on long pants, but apparently because they were determined, they were stinging me through the pants. And then some went down because so many had fallen and it was the cloud that came at me and were on the ground and everything, and then started climbing up my legs, and so they were getting up in my pants. So I, what they call, panicked and ran away. And it's really funny because as I was checking my other hives and it was going so smoothly, I was thinking about how I'm going to talk about how beekeeping has caused me to be a lot more zen and how meditative it is, because as they're swarming around you, you really have to focus and work well under pressure and not freak out. And I was going to give this whole talk about that today. And then foot and mouth, here I go. So anyway, they're attacking me through the legs. I'm running away. And by that point, I am starting to get lightheaded, and I'm worried I'm having an anaphylactic reaction. And I'm outside by myself because I shoo everybody in when we're working on our bees just so nobody gets stung. And I'm on the back porch hollering because they're following me. They're swarming around me. They're so angry. Only once before I've ever had our bees this angry, but I literally destroyed their hives. So, fair point. I understand it. Anyway, so I'm yelling for my husband because they're still swarming and stinging, and they're stuck in my clothing, dozens just stuck in literally just all up and down my legs, just in my clothes, just buzzing and stinging. And so he comes out and he helps me get the bee gear off and shoos them away, and I drop my pants to get the stingers out, and thankfully it pulled most of the stingers out. And by this point I'm lightheaded, so he has to help me in, and we lays me down, and we go ahead and suck the bee venom out right away. So he went and found a straw, and he's like giving me hickeys all over my legs to like suck out all the bee venom. So we got a lot of it out, but there were a few spots that I missed. I totally missed this guy. I don't know if you can... No, I've already sprayed him. You can still see a little bit right here. So we did... so he sprayed a little bit right here. Anyway, so that was one that I had missed. But all the rest of them, so they suck out the bee venom. And then we went and from there, because I had just had this thing happen, I remembered the TRS this time. So I yelled for a kid, bring me the TRS. So I go ahead and I spray a bunch like in my mouth, and then I sprayed up and down everywhere I had a bee sting. I did miss this one, which is why it swelled up right here. I missed it until later in the day. So it swelled, but everywhere else that I sprayed on my skin, no swelling, none. Can't even tell that I was stung. 20 bee stings, 20. So, today I'm going to talk about this little miracle. Let me see if I can get it to focus. So this right here is the advanced TRS. This stuff, I kid you not, God send. So when I got really sick, it's been, I don't know, years ago now, and doctors couldn't find anything wrong with me, said it was all in my head, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, in case you missed it, no, it wasn't in my head. Turns out I had misdiagnosed Lyme this whole time. Doctors just missed that. Anyway, because they had missed the diagnosis of Lyme, I was extremely sick. Well, still am, but I'm getting better now. And was non-functional. There were days I could not get out of bed. Like, going to the bathroom, which is right next to my bedroom, and coming back was it for the day. That was all I could handle. I ended up going gluten-free, which helped a lot. And I'm actually, you know, I've been toying with it. I'm going to go ahead and do a course for that. It's my birthday. It's a new year. This is my new trip around the sun. And I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and just do the things that I've been talking about doing forever and haven't done. I'm going to just do them. If they don't work, whatever. But if they do, we'll see where we are in this year. This year, gratitude has been a great start. So, I went gluten-free. That helped a bunch. The other thing that I started doing was detoxing with advanced TRS. This stuff right here, even with my Lyme that wasn't being treated because I wasn't sick, even with all of the issues I was having, I'm pretty sure we have mold in our house. I'm waiting till I get my taxes back to be able to test for that. So we could potentially be living in mold, which everybody knows is like a huge no-no. Even with all that going on, this stuff right here has given me my life back. Now, I'm not healed. I'm not going to claim to be healed, but I went from completely bedbound to being able to walk around, actually be a mom, take care of my kids, make meals, drive them places. Like, that's huge. That's absolutely huge. When you have a chronic illness and are to the point where you can do nothing, and then you take a supplement and suddenly you can do things, life-changing, literally life-changing. It allowed me to be a mom. Now, does it let me go back and do all the things I did before? No. It's not like a cure-all. You know, it turns out I actually have a disease that when you start treating it, then you get like actually better. But this is even helping with that, because while I'm sitting here and killing off all kinds of, you know, bacteria and everything else, yes, I feel like crap. But when I remember to take this, because, you know, brain fog's still a real thing. When I remember to take this, it's so much less. This stuff is a nano detox spray. Now, the reason I really like the Casivo Advanced TRS is because with Advanced TRS, it is nano-sized Z-Lite. Now, there's a lot of Z-Lite on the market, but Casiva, when they make their Z-Lite, they actually do it in a lab. Now, as a person who's all about being all natural, that seems counterintuitive until you think about the science of it. So Z-Lite is a binder, right? So it attracts to heavy metals, toxins, anything around it. It just sucks it up and holds on to it. So when you go and mine this stuff out of the ground, which is what most companies do, while it's sitting there in the ground, it's leaching up everything around it. I mean, we all know that natural things like arsenic and lead are found in the soil. So it's pulling up all of that and it's stuck to it. So then these companies need to go through and actually clean their Z-Lite, which, what kind of guarantee is it that they got it all there? And what kind of chemicals are they needing to do to break the bond to release the heavy duty, contaminants and still keep the Z-Lite pure and functioning? No thanks. I would much rather know that this is lab created. I mean, I guess the fact that my majors in biology, minors in chemistry. The fact that my minors in chemistry, I understand what, working in a lab and chemistry work is. I've got 13 publications, scientific journal publications. So I'm familiar with how all this works. And to have something lab created that is a binder just makes so much more sense to me, because then I know it's pure. And I give this to my kids. I've given it to them. I've discovered this, I don't know, about 4 years ago. And I've given it to my 4-year-old since she was little. I am completely comfortable with this. And they have been tested for heavy metals, because it's actually made with aluminum and I don't remember what else. But when it combines together, it doesn't cause problems. And that's what people are like, oh, there's aluminum in it. Okay, yeah, there is. But the way it's chemically bound together makes it not an issue. Just like water is what? H2O. That's hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen by itself is a problem. Lindenberg, anybody? And too much oxygen by itself is also a problem. But when you mix them together, they chemically form a different molecule, a different compound altogether, and that's water. So two gases, when chemically bound, make water with completely different properties. The same with the aluminum in the Z-Lite for advanced TRS. So anyway, this stuff though is really potent. I know people who have been really sick in my Lyme groups, and they have tried it, and because they are so toxic, that even doing a drop, because you start with one spray, there's 5 drops in a spray, and so even starting with one drop is enough to cause them huge Herxheimer reactions. So it's crazy to me that a drop of something could be enough to affect you, that you're having huge Herxheimer reactions, but people do. And there's other ways to do it then, such as putting a drop in water and drinking half the water so you can get a half a drop or a quarter of a drop. And so if anybody decides to try this, full disclosure, because I was using it so much and buying it, I just went ahead and signed up as a distributor. I have so much that I'm not actually earning anything right now, because I turned it off because I have so many bottles I don't need to auto ship anymore. Because my mom was also giving it to me. Thank you, Mom. So I have plenty right now, and we're just using it up. But so I don't actually earn, but I'm happy to help anybody who wants to use this, walk through the process. I'll put a link below, because this stuff, I kid you not, seriously life-changing. And because it is a nanoparticle, it's able to get in to the areas that you can't. That's one of the things I noticed, my brain fog and the issues in my head cleared up a lot, because it has the ability to cross over and get those toxins everywhere. So can't recommend it enough. Advanced TRS, definitely a way to go. So for today, my gratitude, I have just been thanking everybody who has sent me lovely birthday wishes. It's been a really nice day, so I appreciate all the good wishes. Thank you so much, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Until tomorrow, choose joy. Bye.